Vile Artist, Mr. Daddy, No Father in My Life, and Shadow Demon and Catgirl Milkies against some other team. VHS is the other team whose name momentarily escaped me. Spooky Mars on the cast here tonight alongside the brave, the bold, the incredibly straight shooter, Skills. How are you doing tonight?
Great. I'm pretty good. How are you?
Apparently I'm a little jumbled up tonight is what I am.
Relatable.
A little bit of memory loss here, and I'm going to blame you for that mostly.
That's fine. Do what you must.
I must and I will. So big game here tonight. Both teams heading into this one 3-0. They are both fighting for the top seed in the SDL tonight here. Skills, who do you think you'd favor here going into this match?
Probably iFeed, naturally. I don't know. It could really be kind of anyone's game. They're both teams are 3-0. It's really it's kind of a big rivalry we have going on here tonight. So I think it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely a different story from the last season. If you remember, VHS had a little bit of a rough one in season 2. They didn't have really a great performance overall, whereas iFeed was the number 2 runner-up. We're actually quite favored in a lot of the season until Dinkleberry kind of took a surprise victory there.
Yeah.
So this is definitely going to be interesting to see how it pans out here as we see a couple early locks. The Sobek, I really like. I think he's very good right now, but the Medusa is a little bit questionable to me, especially in a top 3 here. Skills, what do you think of that?
It's a bit of an early pick, I think. I mean, it can work. There's nothing wrong with Medusa, but it just, I don't know, like, of all the other hunters you could pick, I mean, she's really good. I mean, like, if you were to pick, had you picked, like, say, Athena, you know, the classic Athena-Medusa combos always works really well. A little interesting to see the jungle picked up early as well.
I personally kind of like seeing the jungles picked up early. I know a lot of people don't, but the jungle is a very influential role, and if you can get a really good pick locked in early, I think that does benefit your draft all around. And how we do see that Athena locked in that you were just talking about their skills, how do you think that'll affect iFeed's draft going into this duo lane?
They're really gonna have to be careful as soon as Medusa hits level 5, because once if Athena can get a taunt on really just, like, even if it's only one person, you know, sometimes that one kill, especially late game, is all you need to win. But that's going to be a deadly combo. If they can pull off the taunt and Medusa ultimate, at least they're going to burn beads for their other team to get some things accomplished. So, I mean, there's a lot of, like, team fight potential with just those two, as it is. So I think that's going to be, if they play it right, it'll be extremely effective.
For sure. And they do ban out that Rom, who, honestly, I was thinking of as a pretty good pick into this matchup. So he has that CC immune ult. He's pretty good, just generally scales very well into the late game without losing too much pressure in the early. But now with that taken off the board, one has to wonder where iFeed will go. Maybe going into an on her for the CC immune ult as well.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
On her does. And you get the pillar with on her, which can kind of block Medusa's dash. Yeah. It's not super great. Medusa not really the safest carry in the game.
No, but she can really do a lot. If she's allowed, she'll do a lot of damage. Like, people, I think, underestimate her damage as a hunter.
Now, with the Poseidon locked in, do you think we'll see some surprise shifts here? Maybe a Poseidon jungle, Thanatos going like solo or something here?
I mean,
it's Maloney.
I've done it. I like it. It's fun.
And, you know, he is Estonian. They have some strange practices over there. I heard something about a vodka sock one time. Crazy place.
That's new to me.
That's new to you? Oh, my friend, yeah. I should invite you to general chat sometime.
Yeah, maybe not today.
Now, with the Sobek being locked in first here, it does offer some flex potential. Do you think they'll stick that in the support role? Or do you think that's going to go solo here?
I mean, it obviously has the potential for solo, but I don't know. I see it in support way more often, and I think he's definitely better there because I I don't know. I think he's just a better overall support. But
I'm gonna agree with your assessment of the Sobek going support as we see a Sun Wukong locked in. Those two things are not correlated. I just assumed the Sobek would be support before we
yeah,
saw the Sun Wukong. So don't call me a cheater.
cheater. You never
Shut up,
know. That
Skill.
could be Sun Wukong support. I have seen it. I don't like it, but I've seen it.
What about Sun Wukong
So
Jungle? I've seen that as well.
that's not actually that great from what I've
Listen,
seen.
you can do anything as
Oh,
long
you're
as
right.
you believe, all right?
Well, sometimes believing isn't enough.
Shut up. Every anime I've watched says otherwise, so someone's lying to me here, and it can't be the cartoon.
Well, if it's anime that only lasts one season, then they're obviously lying to you.
Have you heard of Naruto?
That lasted for more than one season, so yes, that time I believe you.
Yeah, believe it.
I hate you.
Now, with an Amaterasu locked in here for VHS, they've got quite the nasty teamfight comp going here.
Yeah. I mean, especially when it comes to solo lane, Wukong kind of wins that. I mean, his early and mid game are way better than Ama's. Jungle wise, that can kind of go either way, but I think actually Pele is going to be a little bit better.
Really?
Yeah, because she has a lot of early damage and shred. Like with Thanatos, like his one does a lot of damage, you know. And you have the slow and stuff, but like Pele can actually kill if Thanatos misses his scythe. If he is 1v1ing the Pele in jungle, he loses that. So
true, he is very reliant on landing that scythe.
It's that skill shot, you gotta hit it. So
notoriously bad without his scythe online.
Right.
So I guess the question becomes: can VHS maintain control of the early game so that they can farm into this mid to late game where their comp really shines? Because I mean, if you look at them, I mean, Athena taunt into a Medusa ult or an Ama ult or a Kraken. You can Thanatos ult to confirm the Kraken's damage. They have a lot going on for them in these team fights.
Yeah,
and I think they're going to be very careful in this early game. Do you think they can do that?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have better. I think their early game is definitely better so far. Like, because when you look at iFeed's team, you've got like Jingwei, who's not going to come on for a while because that's just Jingwei, and then they also have Morgan, she's really good, very high damage, decent CC as well, and the ultimate, of course, is great. So if she can turn into Thanatos or Poseidon or Medusa, they can get a lot done. But like those are only two like real late game ones. But if you ask me, like Sun Wukong, Pele, and so like they have a lot of early aggression they can easily accomplish here. But for VHS, I mean, if Thanatos starts snowballing, then it's kind of over. You know, like that's just how it is. Same with like something like a Fenrir or an Arachne. Like once they start snowballing, get ahead, they stay ahead. So there's a lot of potential for kind of either team to go either way here. It looks like.
Yeah, Thanatos definitely going to have to be something they keep an eye on. Make sure they have some wards spread out here. Now, you did touch on the fact that iFeed has that Jingwei in the carry role, and that's something of like excuse me for using a bit of a cliche, but a ticking time bomb there, where as the later the game goes, the stronger and stronger she gets. Do you think that will cause problems for VHS's kind of mid to late team fight comp?
I mean, obviously, if they keep her in check, right? I mean, it's not like this is Freya, right? Where the longer the game goes, the more likely you will not be able to win. Like, Medusa still definitely has a chance to beat Jingwei. She can easily beat Jingwei. But, I think as long as they just keep each other in check, they should be okay. So.
We are now finally clearing these first waves here, and we'll notice that VHS did not go for that Harpy start, whereas iFeed certainly did. So they're going to have a little bit of pressure on the second wave that comes in, I believe. You may see a Thanatos start to rotate into this mid lane, as Pele is already here. They're getting some good pressure up in that mid lane now, and it looks like they're going to go for an early red buff invade here. I don't think VHS is really in a position to kind of follow it, but indeed they are right behind them here. We're going to see a little bit of an early fight. However, it looks like Purple Stuff is stunned out and gets quite a bit of damage put onto him there.
Yeah, I mean, that's Pele's early game right there. She can do that. I mean, like, Yeah, I don't think he really hit his one, so he's not really going to be able to do much. Maybe Pele.
Well, they might be in some trouble now. Poseidon's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place here. Throws down the whirlpool at a good time just to make sure Pele cannot follow him through there. Now, we'll get Nitro out of that, but now he's coming back trying to secure the red buff. He does not manage to steal it away, and now he's being turned on by both Pele and Catgirl Milky's here. But he will be able to get himself out with another nice whirlpool there. But he's taking a lot of damage in that trade. I really don't think it was worth it for him. He could have just been farming that up.
No, I agree. I mean, at that point, like, I would have just said, all right, my red's gone, don't even bother. Because, like, it's not worth you dying for. Not really. You can be without the red buff and still win. I've been without a red buff plenty of times. Yeah, definitely not. I mean, at least he didn't die, right? Because then that would have been detrimental.
Being without the red buff is similar to just being dead. I mean, you really feel like you've lost all life. I mean, I know I do feel absolutely miserable when I lose my red buff. And sometimes I've considered just ending it all.
Sometimes. I think it kind of just depends on who you're playing to be like, oh, I don't need my red buff. It's not, like, absolutely necessary. As weird as that is to say.
Absolutely necessary for a mid lane. Because I need a crutch.
Well, all I would say is hit your abilities and you don't need a crutch.
Well, you're asking a lot of me now, Skills.
It's okay, I'm asking a lot of myself as well, so.
Listen, there's a difference between missing abilities and dying to minions.
That's fair. At least it was live, alright? I'm famous for dying to
making
minions.
it better there. See a good dash in there. Gonna knock a lot of damage down onto the dual lane, but no kill here yet. Despite some aggression that's coming out, doesn't look like either team's really been able to find anything here.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of pressure for sure. Again, I mean, Sobek, he just does that. He plucks you, and then it's just free damage for the Jingwei. Medusa also not going Devourer's Gauntlet, so she does lack, although you don't get much sustain. I mean, you're not having any sustain at this rate, so.
Yeah, pretty much zero. Oh, nice bit of a gank here coming in as Mr. Daddy has shown up. Sobek taking very low, and Starter is the first one to go down, and it was actually Medusa. Athena is looking for a way out here, but she's being taken very low as well, and she does not find her escape as Catgirl Milky's secures the second kill for iFeed. Now, Nitro looking to return the favor, but looks like Pele will be able to just walk out of that. No danger there, and it's a very clean 2-0 for the iFeed team. And now we see Shadow going back to base. And, you know, Skills, I didn't touch on this at all. We didn't speak about the fact that Shadow is not in support today, as he normally is.
Yeah, rather interesting, I must say. He loves to initiate the fight, so maybe it's better that he's in solo lane this game. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how he does, and I'll just yell at him later if he doesn't do well. Really, that's just that simple.
Everyone has a favorite key, and his is the W key. I can't say I blame him. It's the easiest to reach.
Especially for you, yes. W key is your favorite.
Listen, I also really like S. It's not necessarily
like S
better.
I like S better, personally. I usually stay alive in that case. I say
but
that.
If you're holding S, you're also kind of moving slower. S is not a good key.
If you turn around, it feels like a W key.
Now, we do see a rotation from the Morgan coming in. Big damage comes on to Malonis, and he goes right on. That is a second kill for Catgirl Milky's. 3-0 in iFeed's favor now, starting to build a little bit of a gold lead there, about 2,000 in their favor. Trying to put some aggression onto No Father, but he's not feeling any pressure at all. Sobek very tanky in this early game, and he even with the reinforced Greaves, they are not killing Sobek anytime soon.
Or ever, for that matter.
I mean, how many protections is that with his passive? I mean... Too many. You don't kill this man. There's nothing you can do that will make No Father feel like he's in any kind of danger, unless he beats himself into a tower.
Yeah, it's 3 physical and magical protections stacked 7 times. Plus his
Now we see another attack going in on this dual lane. just like it was. Pele, who took a lot of damage. Kraken comes down, but is not going to secure the kill. Instead, Cat 4200 will be finding that one. Or the favors returned by Catgirl Milky is bringing the pain onto Starter. But Violet's turn around, bringing the bolts of pain back to the fight. Athena's in a little bit of trouble, but no, that was actually Catgirl Milky's in some trouble there. Athena managed to get out.
Yeah, I think that fight was kind of okay. Like, it was going fine for both sides, but then Thanatos missed the ult. And so he lacks a lot of his damage potential there, so that's just one thing you just can't miss that. As a Thanatos player, like, yeah.
All aspiring Thanatos players, pro tip from skills, don't miss your abilities.
Yeah. Just land the one, really.
If you miss abilities, you don't get to do the damage.
Just die. You sit there and you take it.
Yeah, you actually don't get to run away if you miss the abilities. You have to stand there and accept what you've done. Now, take a look at No Father, though. He is just walking around the enemy jungle, doing kind of whatever he wants here. Like he's making a rotation over here onto Maloney's. He is retreating back under his tower. Now you know this purple stuff is here as well to back up his solo laner, but man, he is only level 6 right now. Pele is level 8 in the jungle. This is a kind of severe XP gap.
For sure. I mean, especially when it comes to, like, if Pele is 2 levels ahead of you as Thanatos, you got to do your best to be where she isn't. So, if she's in ganking solo lane, you best gank duo lane, and you really need to be farming, like, a lot. Because you cannot be behind. Or else. I mean, the same goes to Pele as well, so.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Purple Stuff's really able to find too many of those opportunities, as now you'll notice that this trio of the mid lane is rotating around, splitting the camps 3 ways, and that is exceptionally inefficient. That's really not what you want to be doing if you're behind. Because instead of getting 6 each, you're getting 33%. Now Pele might be getting rotated on. Purple Stuff has landed the scythe there. Medusa ult does not confirm the stun, and it's not enough damage. Pele's already too far away, and she gets out for pretty much just her ulti.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, had the Thanatos gotten the kill on the Pele, that would have been a nice kill, and that would have gotten him a level, probably. And he'd be able to...
Reap started up, but this is a little bit risky, I'd say. No Father has shown up, but VHS are not pushing the issue. I like that call a lot better.
Yeah.
They're too far down,
I think. Yeah, I think they're too far down to really be pushing for something that early.
Yeah, it's nice to see the Pele ult go down and look for an opportunity, but 8-minute Gold Fury with all 5 still being alive, it's a little ambitious.
Had they killed the Pele, I'd have been like, yeah, go for it, right? But because the Sun Wukong wasn't there, but neither was the Amma, so they would have been 1 up. But the Pele lived, so I don't think it was a good. So I think it was a good call to leave.
Yeah, definitely some good heads-up decision making on that one. And I do like that they tried it. You know, they felt it out. They took a look, said, hey, can we do this? Saw what turned up, decided, nah, this is not going our way. And they backed out. They made the right call. But now Purple Stuff might be in some danger here as these 2 frontliners from iFeed are just kind of walking around the jungle doing whatever they please. This whole right side kind of looks like it's just become an extension of iFeed's jungle.
Yeah, I mean, they could just... I mean, they're ahead. They're just going to do what they want right now. I mean, Sobek is extremely tanky, and he's just going to do what he can to harass or do anything.
Now iFeed secures a Pyro. That's a nice little bit of gold in their favor. And take a look at that duo lane. Look at those health bars over there. Both carries extremely low. Vile actually took a little trip back to base. But as Jingwei, he's not going to mind that quite as much as the Medusa. So I like that Starter decided to push that a little bit, shove that wave under the tower, and try to make Vile lose as much as he can before he has to reset.
And that's the thing with having that little brawl that they did. The Jingwei is going to actually sustain for the fight longer because she has Devourer's Gauntlet and almost stack, whereas Medusa hasn't even started Transcendence yet, so she's going to have to wait to build Aussie to be able to get any sort of sustain whatsoever. So that is the only issue I have with starting Transcendence. Not the worst thing in the world, but like, I don't know. If you're trying to sustain a fight, I would not go Transcendence.
Yeah. Remember how I said I liked how he made the decision to shove it in and then reset? I take it back. He
Yeah.
shoved it in, went to purple, and then went back and lost all the pressure. Now we're seeing a little bit of a fight here. Mr. Daddy finds a kill on the purple stuff very quickly here. Now trying the aggression onto Mr. Daddy is starter, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to find the kill there. iFeed's been doing a really good job of finding their kill and then getting out. But here comes the Morgan, looking for a little bit more damage. Finds it onto Cat 4200. Medusa ult starts up. It does come out, but the beats are used. Just dashes away. Cat 4200 is very low now. No Father is here, though, to clean up the kill as Milky goes in and dives starter. And that is 2 more kills for iFeed.
Yeah, I mean, that's just... They got some big rotations going on, and VHS needs to be really on the lookout. Like, they're trying to force fights, and it's going their way because they're ahead, and they can do what they want at this point. You know, like, I don't think some of these fights for VHS just aren't worth it because they're just behind. Like, the jungle is behind by 3 levels. Mid's up a level, support's up a level, the ADC is up 2 levels. Like, not only is it just levels, but it's also items. So,
yeah. And take a look at this jungle too, and I think you'll notice the big reason why VHS is losing these rotations and getting caught out so much is because they're not warding. That whole side of the map was just barren. They had no idea what iFeed was doing, where they were coming from, or where they were going, and they got punished heavily for it.
I mean, yeah, it's a free kill. If you don't have a ward down, I mean, you kind of deserve it, you know? So, if you ask me, if there's no ward, you deserve the death, so. That's up to them to ward.
It's really showing, too, because now iFeed has secured their first gold Fury, about 12 minutes in. They're up almost 6,000 gold, 6,500 XP. The lead is absolutely massive, and their aggressive playstyle is just pushing even more as Nitro now gets aggressive, and holy crap, he just gets deleted by the tag team of No Father and Pele.
This Pele's running the game right now. She's well ahead of everybody. Basically, you know,
4200 as well. They're gonna take this tier 1. No Father is looking for a blink in, but they're actually gonna turn on the Thanatos who went in. A little strangely there. He does escape into the air with the ultimate, and Hovering Death has turned into Flying Rescue.
Flying ambulance, more like it.
Yeah, but not for them. Now Starter in a little bit of trouble there. But he does not get dove. However, No Father has found him with the pluck. Now he's in some real danger as Cat Girl finds the kill.
Very good pluck by the Sobek there. That's just one of those things that Sobek, you know. Oh, he's so annoying to go against, dude.
I'm gonna get this tier 2 tower for free. In fact, I wouldn't even call it free. It's like, because they got extra on top. They got free with gravy.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's free. I'd say it was earned.
It's not free. No Father had to tank like 2 tower shots. However, now VHS is being attacked right out of their base. They're trying to retreat to their Phoenix, and they do get back there. But man, this does not feel good. This is just really disheartening when you just get railed on by 3 people stepping out of your duo lane Phoenix at 15 minutes into the game.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just, these rotations are huge, and they're already grouping up more than VHS is, and they're taking advantage of it. They're honestly just picking them off one by one, and that's how they're just winning these fights. VHS is not really grouping up very well, and I'm starting to see a couple more wards from VHS, I believe, but...
Yes, they are starting to light this up a little bit more, but I feel like it's a little bit too late here.
They should have done that way earlier, for sure.
They've kind of reached this point where they can't contest these camps that VHS is rotating onto. They can't intercept them as they're rotating to try to cut them off and get a pick. And now Maloney gets plucked back by No Father. He does find the dash out. Athena is ulting in, and Purple Stuff has arrived as well to help peel. But at this point, honestly, I think you just give up that stupid tier 1 tower because you've got an exposed Phoenix on the left side there.
And let's not split the blue buff. Oh, and here comes Pele.
And Mr. Daddy is shown up to kill Purple Stuff. Now Pele looking for a little bit more. But they will peel back. No Father uses the ult there, but it's mostly just zoning. Not too much happens from that there. And they are going to get that tier 1 tower now. And Catgirl has found a kill onto Nitro. Now Vile Artist maybe having a little skirmish with Starter as well here. Looks like he is about to find the kill. He does indeed find that last shot that just put Starter in the dirt. Now, lead is 10k skills, 10k for iFeed. Where does VHS go to bring this back? Like, it's starting to look very grim.
Yeah, I mean, your jungler is 5 levels under. Like, the jungler needs to not build Hydras right now. That should be a Void Shield, because at least you'll have a chance of actually living. And those protections are nice, obviously, especially against this Pele. And then other things like, I don't think Medusa should have went Transcendence, personally. Like, it's not a bad item, but she can do well with literally anything else, and I think anything other than Transcendence should have been there, but...
I don't like that they've decided to go for these chalices of the oracles. They are 10k behind and wasting 400 gold on these chalices. Does not improve their fight at all, does not improve their survivability. I think they shot themselves in the foot on that one.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Especially as an ADC, right? Like, if you're behind like this, 400 gold can kind of make or break whenever you can back and safely build an item. So, like...
Yeah.
Like, that, for all we know, that 400 gold is what's stopping this Medusa from getting Aussie right now.
Right. Now, consider this. I know you said Void Shield, but
right.
How much cooler would it be if Thanatos built like a mantle here as he now gets picked off by Pele? Looks like we might see a little bit more of a fight here, but Cat 4200 does manage to find the dash away. Pele's still chasing, though, looking for another kill, but the rest of his team is rotating that Primal Fury. He's just zoning them off, making sure there's absolutely no chance of contention. Although, with cracking down, he probably didn't need to chase them out that far anyway. Probably not. Anyway, back to the way cooler point of a Mantle of Discord. All right?
I think it's a bit early.
Thanatos goes up. No. Check this out. He goes up. He's levels down, right? He knows he's going to get blown up immediately. So he comes crashing down with a big stun. And they're like, oh, hey, look at this Thanatos. They pump the damage into him. Bam! Another stun!
Yes, it makes sense. But the reality from what we've been watching, that won't happen. So, like... And a Void Shield gives you at least some power.
And now it's going to be an even worse decision. Because now iFeed is starting up the Fire Giant. And there's nothing VHS can do to contest this. They're so far back. They're being pressured off by just the Sun Wukong. In fact, I think Sun Wukong's actually looking to find a kill here. He does get forced up into the ultimate. He's coming crashing back down. And they are just surging forward right now. Pele has found purple stuff on the back end, and he goes down. Now there's another caught in between, and now it's a double kill. But hold that thought, because the Morgan is now unstoppable on a 7-kill streak. But that is not the end, as Vile Artist picks up a kill for himself. It's now only Cat 4200 alive to defend this tower, and he's going down very quickly. Milky's with another kill. 8-0. The middle Phoenix goes down, and it looks like iFeed is going to be taking game number 1 in less than 20 minutes. 20-1.
I mean, that was a really very good job on iFeed for doing that, and you died to Titan.
The Chaos Titan proves to be an insurmountable barrier for no father in my life.
I mean, credit to where it's due. It's better than Archers, let's be honest. And Fire Giant. And Fire Giant.
And Fire Giant.
Because I've died to both of those live.
Why?
Somebody had to, right? So
I mean, a lot of people did it for you in previous seasons. You didn't have to be the one.
I wanted to be the one. I wanted to make the difference for the Reap Smite League. Yeah, so I think the biggest thing from what we saw is obviously don't waste your money on Chalice of the Oracles if you're behind, because that's horrible. And then wards. Like, they had a lot of wards, but I think iFeed was sentry warding a lot too. It's like, yeah, you're placing them, but like you're also just getting them destroyed. So
I think all those wards came out after they got the chalices.
I believe so. Yeah, I think once we're around 15 minutes is when they actually started coming out.
Yeah, you got to be warding way before then. You got to be warding from minute 1. I don't care if it's just the vision shard. Listen,
that is what you
ward. Vision shard down. When you go to your red buff, you make sure they can't follow you. You drop it Over the
Yeah.
wall, the harpies. Make sure the jungler's not coming. There's so much you can do with that shard to just give yourselves more protections. And once you hit your first back, you should be able to pick up at least one ward.
Right. And I think if they're gonna invade your buff like that, and you guys just and you're not gonna be successful, you're better off giving it up and just farming the waves and going back to farm something else.
Yeah, I mean, they knew exactly where they were going.
So
They could have just shoved that wave and maybe tried to rotate onto their red buff. Take that away.
yeah, because they were gonna be busy taking their red buff and probably oracles. So you could have gotten that, got back to lane, and been safe. But I guess just in the heat of the moment, they didn't really know what to do. So obviously something to think about for next time for VHS when that happens. So
Well, luckily, next time will be very soon here, as we'll be able to hop into game number 2, which is going to be coming up in just a moment here, and we'll see how VHS responds to this kind of brutal first. And we are back with the Reap Smite League. iFeed versus VHS. You see, at least one person here learns from their mistakes from game 1. Let's see if VHS can do the same. Skills, how are you feeling? And we are back.
I'm feeling
with the
pretty
Reap
good.
Smite.
I think that's a bit. Last game was a big wake up call for VHS. I think it's kind of like, let's kind of get our crap together here. And oh, there's the Pele ban. I was kind of ready for that. Not really surprised. Pele was kind of running it in the jungle. So, what about
Honestly,
you?
I don't feel like that was really the Pele, though. I don't think that was the Pele at work. I really feel like VHS was just kind of caught sleeping and didn't really play to their full strength that game.
Yeah.
I think they probably could have stuck with their same bands and just kind of woken up and played around what they were facing a little bit better. And I think they would have been just fine.
Yeah, I think like we had talked about, wards were a big issue with them. Had they done all those wards in the beginning instead of like waiting till almost like to the end of mid game, starting the beginning of late game, I think it would have been the outcome may have been a little bit different. I think they would have had a bit more chance and like to fight back, but I think it was getting to the point where they were so far behind, there's nothing they could do when the fight was forced onto them.
Now, interestingly, the Sobek is left open, so obviously iFeed goes right back to that because that looked really good for them in game 1.
Oh, it worked well.
But if you take a look at the bans, you see Set, Cthulhu, and Suku are banned. I mean, you're fairly used to seeing
That's
those,
fine,
but
yeah.
Persephone is open, Rom's open, Cupid is open.
I don't think any of them play Persephone, if I'm
They
right.
should. They should.
Oh,
I
as we
bet
both do
someone
now.
picks Persephone here. I bet you
I bet they
Dank
don't.
Cats, I'm sorry, Catgirl Milky's is just like, it's Persephone time. First time I've ever played it, but it's open. Lock it in. We see a Raven, which is also what I consider to be a pretty good ban. But so many things were just left open here, and we see that VHS doesn't really go for them either. They go take the Jingwei away from Vile here, which frankly he could just pick up the Rom here, but they go for the Medusa.
Oh,
Skills,
okay.
this is BM.
This is
man
BM.
says, I see your Medusa, and I'll just do it better.
He's gonna be like, let me show you how to play Medusa. Maybe Starter 95 will do the same on Jingwei, but we'll see.
Let me see. Okay, so I'll be honest, I'm not super high on the comp I'm seeing from VHS right now.
No.
I mean, Kukulkan is a god. He exists in the game. Would the game feel much different if he was removed from the game? No, I don't think
really.
so.
It'd be less annoying.
He's very easy
there.
to kill.
He's
very easy to dive, and if you take a look back at game 1, iFeed was doing a lot of just diving. So I really don't think the Kukulkan pick is doing them too many favors here. I think they're just kind of playing into what iFeed likes to do.
I mean, the Kumba is going to help with that dive because of all the CC in his kit, so that'll definitely help his backline, I think. But timing is everything, so how he times those abilities, like his mez and whatnot on a Kumba, it's going to be extremely important that he times that correctly, especially with Ravana and Sobek probably diving. Well, who knows? Maybe Sobek will, he won't. Depends. We'll see.
The thing I really don't like about it is that Not only does Kumba have to be very careful about his timing for the enemies, because, Robin's got that flip kick, Sobek's got his dash, and his lurking in the waters. But now you also have to be worried about the Kukulkan tornadoes, because if those get applied, they'll just immediately break that mez, and they'll just keep on going.
Right. But
and because it's a DOT, if they're applied before Kumba does the mez, well, now he has to wait for it to go down before he's able to really do any peel.
So it kind of counteracts each other. But if you mess with someone who's low health and Kukulkan gets damage over time going, then he'll probably get the kill. So that's the only way I see how it's a good combo. But
they might flip kick it.
Yeah, they might.
I hate the Robin flip kick, dude. It tilts me so much.
Oh yeah, you think you've gotten him, and then he just gets away with because he's CC immune and damage him, and you're just like, oh, okay.
So you also see a Thor has appeared in the draft as well here. So I do like Thor, and I think there could be some really good setup between the Kumba and the Thor here with the Kukulkan. I think I like the pick here, but I mean, Purple Stuff was having a little bit of trouble laying the Thanatos ults. However, if we take a look, it seems that Ice Stuff Extreme has actually come in for the jungle role this time. So we'll see if he has a little bit more success with those aerial circles.
Well, circles win the game, as we know. Thor very, similar to Thanatos in that way. So yeah, as long as you hit the ult, you should be fine. And the rest of your abilities, of course, but...
You know who doesn't struggle to hit their ult?
Nuwa. Yeah.
Man, this guy's just going to be pressing 4 all game, racking up the damage, and making the rest of his team look like chumps. Because at the end of the game, he's going to have like 40k player damage, and the rest of them are going to have like 20. And he'll just point at him and be like, what are you guys doing all game?
I think Nuwa is like the only one. Yeah, so far. I mean, Sobek ult's not that hard to hit.
It's really not. If you
but Nuwa's is always
while
confirmed.
They're in range, they dash or they get hit.
I mean, yeah,
there's nothing they do about it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting to pick this Nuwa, I would say. I mean, it's not bad. Like, say going against a Kukulkan, they both are really good at pushing lanes, so they kind of do that. But this Thor can really capitalize on this Nuwa unless she plays really defensively, and in that's the case, she can blow someone up 0 to 100 late game. So Nuwa is no joke, especially with her ultimate. It'll do like 600 damage to you late game, and that's just really annoying to deal with right before a fight starts because they just W key you and kill you.
Yeah,
I should know.
Now, I do think that iFeed could have a little bit of trouble dealing with the Guan Yu.
Very good at diving the back line.
He just W keys straight to the back line. But on the other hand, they do have quite a few CC immune ults on their team. Both backliners have CC immune ults. Sobek has the CC immunity. Robin's got the flip kick. So they do have the tools to deal with it if they're patient and use them correctly. If they panic or they mistime something, this Guan Yu is going to absolutely run through them. So I think they're definitely going to have to be on their toes to deal with Maloney's here.
But the thing I would say is, despite having the Guan Yu in the backline like that, Nuwa and Medusa can really peel for each other. Because Medusa has her dash to CC, and then Nuwa can use her minions to CC again. So they have a lot of CC chain against the Guan Yu, even, like, I'm saying after his ultimate's done. So I could probably, realistically, they'll probably kill him if it's done correctly. If not, he's going to kill them, so. But
I'm thinking if Guan Yu gets his ulti off here, there should be a Thor ult following pretty quickly behind it.
I hope to see that, because that is ideally what you should do.
Minions have spawned.
Now, whether they'll be able to execute this game plan, or more importantly, not fall behind before they're able to get to the point where they're trying to execute this plan, that's going to be the biggest thing for them. Because last game, VHS did not reach that point where they could team fight on an even level with iFeed. And their whole team comp was based around that. And they just got picked apart before they could ever go for that strategy. And Skills, how do you feel about Heavenly Wings on your support?
I've had my supports. I don't tell them to do it by any means, because, you know, I think there are better relics early. But if you're going to be like a horse or a Hercules and you get that right, I'd say go for it, because you get that really early aggression, and you will probably get a kill with it, if everything goes the way you want it to. Which, let's be honest, this might never happen, so good luck with that. But, it can be really useful. Oh, absolutely.
But, even in that case, though, I would say a blink is just kind of better.
It kind of does, not the same thing, but yeah.
I feel like sprint is really better as a second relic, and it's very team comp dependent. Like, I don't look at this team and think, yeah, sprint goes big here.
Yeah, it doesn't really. I mean, Jingwei can kind of just do that on her own.
But Cat is already down, and Violard is picking up the first blood. What happened over there? Very early aggression coming from this dual lane. Doran's looking to make a rotation here. He's trying to come in. He does find Vile Artist, and Starter finds the kill in return. Now, looks like No Father could be in some trouble as Nitro is also rotated. However, the slow does not connect, and the Stobek will survive today. Crocodile hunting is illegal in these parts.
Well, that was a very good rotation by the Kukulkan there for mid. He's not bad when it comes to rotating, because his 2 gives him a pretty decent movement speed buff. So I'm not saying it's like a decided by any means.
Maloney's in trouble here. Milky's looking for a little bit of dive, and no, they're not looking for the dive.
Yeah, I think it's too early to dive.
Nonsense. This is the solo lane. We dive at level 1. Maybe that's why I'm
lose the level 1 if that's the case.
Here comes the Robin blinking in, jumping onto Starter, but Starter does in fact survive that one, and that's pretty big for them. They got a relic out of the Robin, and they lost basically nothing for it. Even the beads are still up.
That's the problem with ganking Jingwei. You need to bait that out, because you can't just blink in there and hope it goes your way, because 9 out of 10, it's not going to against the Jingwei.
And the thing is, they have the perfect setup for that, too.
Yeah.
Sobek just goes in, plucks. Well, obviously, Jingwei's going to dash away. Now your Robin can blink in. Maybe a little miscommunication from iFeed there.
Yeah, I think the jungler may have assumed, oh, they know I'm coming, so they'll pull, but I don't think that's what happened, so I think you're, like you said, a bit of miscommunication. I don't think it was known that he was even there, to be honest, so.
But nonetheless, iFeed is still coming away with a decent lead early on here. Builds up to about 1,000. Maloney's could be falling here as well, and indeed, Shadow Demon finds that rend, and he rends Maloney from distance. He'll be sent to the gray screen for a few more seconds here before coming back.
Now see, that was a good gank right there. Definitely
all these ganks are good. Ganks are always good. Oh boy, Cat 4200 puts himself out of position there, now knocked up by Sobek, but able to find the dash right back on out, and you really got to be careful on the Kumbhakarna there. Much like the Sobek, but the key difference is that if you hit your dash as Kumba, you don't send the enemy careening into death.
Of course you
just kind of have to sit there, and the enemy's still in front of you.
I mean, I guess that's who you are.
Now, Kakuro Milky's might be in some trouble here. Does use the beads to get away from that. The ult comes through, but it does not connect. And now here comes the Robin. Look, attacks, but Thor makes it into the air with just a sliver of health left. Oh, but there's a new one! Fire, and that's gonna secure the kill onto Ice Stuff Extreme. Big plays, kind of rain plays, but big plays.
See, like, I'm not a huge Thor player. Like, I love playing Thanatos, and I have died so many times to New Watch simply because of her ult killing me at 1 health. And it's the most tilting thing that can happen to you. Forget missing your abilities and whatever, not getting a kill. That is worse. Because you think you're out, right? And then she's like, nah, fam, here you go, and then just kills you in the air.
And now, you see the payoff of that is that I think gets to invade that red buff. That is now dropped down. Little disappointed that, you know, No Father didn't just pick it up for himself. Love to see a Sobek with red buff.
Probably forgot to get the milk as well and never came back. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. No red buff in his life.
No red buff in mine. Rather sad.
Looks like the Harpies do get secured there by... I think it was iFeed that did secure them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Jay is not the best spectator in the world. Love you, Jay.
He's something alright, that's for sure.
Now, interestingly, Maloney's has also lost pretty much all pressure in the solo lane. I mean, he's low on mana, low on health, forced to back. He does have the teleport relic up, but that's really not what you want to be getting these days in the solo lane. You see a lot of them going for this Blink Thorns combo. Now the blue buff's being invaded. Maloney's is here to try to contest it. And he does get it! He does get his own blue buff. Now the Robin is also lurking around with Shadow Demon. They're going to call that good where it is, as that jungle has been pretty much stripped dry. And once again, we see no wards on that side of the jungle. Nitro does find a kill onto Vile with this rotation. But look at the map, okay? So you see where iFeed has placed these wards. They've placed a ward by the jungle shrine. They've placed it at the right entrance near the tier 1 tower of VHS. They have their enemy jungle warded very nicely here. And VHS doesn't even have their own jungle warded. They've got to fix this, but now Maloney's looks like he's being attacked once again by Nua and Nike. He's retreating, but he's running towards the enemy tower, and he's gonna fall as he tries to find Milky's, but the tower's just gonna say, no sir, you've had enough. There's no milk here.
Got milk?
He doesn't. His bones were too brittle.
Clearly.
He was trying to remedy the situation, but to no avail. And honestly, it's too greedy there. He had the dash up. He could have dashed away back towards safety. He could have just been W-keying towards his own tower. And now he just dies for nothing, and it's just unfortunate. It's just an unfortunately bad call.
Oh, Sobek with the tank boots again. He ain't going anywhere.
And I love the tank boots here because you look at what he's facing. He's got a Guan Yu. That's DOT. You've got the Kukulkan. Well, that's a DOT. You've got the Thor. DOT.
He's not DOT.
Spin is.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, it's not DOT. It's technically it's burst damage, but it does those 3 ticks of damage first, right? And that means he gets the stacks from them.
Well, I mean, yes, but it's not always gonna tick because you have to hit the whole thing.
Well, if you're Thor and you're crashing down on someone with a big stun here and dropping a wall for a Nitro ult to come through, I'd assume you'd be able to hit all 3 of those.
Rather unfortunate.
And unfortunately, that ult did not connect. I don't think Nitro understood that Thor was setting those 2 stuns up, and so he didn't have his ult primed ready.
That was
out.
an easy
now
double
Robin
kill.
coming in onto Ice Dive Extreme. He's looking for the kill. He does find the kill. And he gets out with his life. Now it looks like 2 members of VHS are trying to find him and punish him. Maloney's might be trying to rotate, but there's a Nike on him as well. Shao's not going to let him rotate to that too easily. And now he's forced back to his lane. And these 2, Nitro and Cat, do not find anything for their troubles here. I think VHS is honestly reacting a little bit too much. They're trying to follow iFeed around the map and trying to follow them to what they're doing, when really they need to be doing something on the other side. If they see Robin is going for a gank over on Duo, ping it out and rotate to like the Pyromancer. Grab that. Granted, it's not up yet, but invade
I see what you
speed,
mean.
do something.
I think they could at least like also take a tower as well. Like get some, even if you're not gonna take the tower, at least get some tower damage in.
Yeah, at least get pressure somewhere. Because if iFeed's going to rotate, that means they have to give something up somewhere else. But they really only give it up if you take it. If they rotate and you don't take what they're sacrificing, well, this is just a net positive for them at that point. You have to do everything you can to like make it a net 0.
Right.
Or as close to it as possible. Now, what I do like, though, Skills, if you notice, we don't see any chalices, but we rather see wards, and even a sentry ward.
I mean, you look at iFeed, they all got wards except for the Nike, which is, you know, to be somewhat expected of a solo laner. Solo brains are just so small.
It's a different beast.
Yeah, literally. Whereas only the mid and the support, so you need to see wards out of both jungle and ADC on the side of VHS. Even the soul laner, if the soul laner is rotating, but we're not really seeing that yet, so maybe not as important. But
yeah, I think Maloney's going to have a lot of trouble rotating, as now iFeed is just running through this jungle once again. Thor has found the Robin, but the Sun connects, but what's he going to do with it? Nothing. There's nothing he can do. Look, he's two levels down.
No follow-up, yeah.
You see them kind of trying to step forward here and take a fight, but I really don't think this is a fight that they want. They're 4,000 gold down. Their XP down, like, across the board. It's really only the carries that are even right now. And even that, I don't think is really that close. I think Medusa's closer to level 11 than Jingwei is right now. And now they're taking a Gold Fury. This is the first big objective on the map, and it goes down uncontested because, once again, VHS did not place their wards down around that Fury.
See, and they're rotating to kill this Ravana, right? But that could have just been a mid tower and nobody dies for it. But they did pick up the
here. But now we've got two more members rotating around onto this fight. The good stun does come out, but Cat 4200 is actually blocked off by it. Gets put down into the passive. Nitro Tornadoes do not connect on anyone. He's staying a little bit too long here. I don't like how he stepped up like this. Milky's will get that kill, and Nitro will turn around and leave. However, they've lasted long enough that they're now able to give chase here. Ice of Extreme has been found by Milky's without too much mana to run away. Gets stunned out. Nitro is coming in to try to help. And Ice Stuff will survive with just a sliver of HP once again. This time, no Nua ult available to put him in the dirt.
So they traded 1-for-1 there in iFeed's jungle. I mean, it's not horrible, but like, he's still ahead. It's not really detrimental to the Ravana to die like that. But then the Kumba really should stop dying. I mean, you're 3 levels down from their support. So
I'm gonna tell you, I put that Kumba death. It's obviously a little bit Kumba's fault for being there,
right?
But also Thor's fault for walling him in. The man had nowhere to go.
Rather, see, that's why I don't play Thor, because knowing me, I will screw over my teammates like that way too often.
He would do it to me, and
oh, of course I would. Especially if you miss an ability, I'm like, all right, that is death.
That's it. He's done. It's over for him. Miss an ability, forfeit your life.
Over here. Yeah. Punishable by death, and it is because I wall you off. So.
Yeah, they need to be a little bit more communication there on what they're doing. If Thor saves that stun for after Kumba rounds that corner, he probably could have landed a stun and walled the enemy team off and possibly saved the Kumba there. But now Robin has found Ice of Extreme, but he's not looking for him too much.
Where you want to go?
He looked like he was going for the Nitro there, but then he jumps on the Thor who's ulting, and he just walks away.
Yeah, I mean, both assassin ults down.
That's a huge ult to have down, right? Thor ult is massive in any fight, so not having to worry about that is very good. Now, Starter is sitting around a little bit too long for my liking. Dash is not the right kind of life, but he does ult out, and that will save his life as Nitro comes through with the Spirit of the Nine Winds. I don't like this fight too much. Shadow Demon has found Ice Stuff Extreme now. He goes down, but Kumba is still leading the charge. Tornadoes are placed, and they are placed onto some enemies. But here comes the Robin into the back, and he finds a kill as Violars takes out the charging Kumbhakarna. Now, No Father is just trying to push the rest of them away. Mr. Daddy very low here. But he will just go for this purple buff, take that out, steal yet another thing away from VHS. They are now 5K in the lead.
That was a really big Medusa ult if you saw. I got 2 people with that. I think one of them beads, but I can't say for sure. But it was a huge peel, and then they got 2 kills off of it. So I mean, that was completely worth it, and that's just great for iFeed. VHS is starting to be a bit more aggressive, but I think they're still miscommunicating, and Kukulkan is double stacking. You know, if he was Baba Yaga, right, I'd say yeah, go for it, because she can do that. But like, I don't know how I feel with, like, the Book of Thoth makes sense, But you may as well, at that point, you may as well just go with Doom Orb instead of the Warlock Staff.
Yeah, I don't like the
You're getting more out of Doom Orb, not just power, but you're also getting a little bit more mana, if not maybe the same.
So,
but man, it's just not my
I'm
thing.
sure he's building it because he wants the extra health, right? He wants the extra.
Well, if you want the extra health, you just buy an E-Staff, Ethereal Staff.
Yeah, that's the
Essentially.
thing. It takes too long to stack, and it's really just not worth it once you have it stacked.
So that actually gives you more power even after it's stacked.
Yeah.
The only thing you're missing out on is the 10%. But it's so easy to get percent pen nowadays. Well, I say nowadays, but you could just get it any kind of way. You don't need Warlock Staff, so.
Yeah. The Sash, I don't think is the call here. Warlock Sash, no boy, no.
No, that could have been like, I don't know, anything else, but
Anything else.
literally anything else, but like a Soul Gem would have been horrible, and to like a Soul Reaper, that would have been huge.
Maloney's trying to contest this blue buff, but he really can't. I mean, he's 2 levels down on Nike, and I'm surprised they didn't just turn on him and kill him there. However, we do see a big rotation coming through. Shadow Demon gets stunned out by the Thor. Tornadoes are placed as the Sentinel Zeus comes down. Now the cavalry charge started up in the air because the Spirit of the Nine Winds. Cat 4200 credited with his first kill here. But that's not exactly the kill that you want going there. You don't really want the support to have that. Granted, he got 4 levels off that, mind you. He went from level 8 to level 12. So that's pretty massive for him.
Good for him, yeah.
And before that, I was going to mention how he really can't afford to be leading these charges due to being 4 levels down. But now Maloney's is in trouble here as No Father is also coming in. Finds a great flux, sends him straight into the Robin. He does find a dash back to his tower. And Maloney's actually survives this one. I was sure that was a death sentence.
Yeah, I like how before that fight, the Thor just ulted, and he's just kind of like, hey guys, I'm here.
Oh dear. Vile has found a
indeed.
kill onto Nitro. What is the backline doing over here? Starter is finding himself a kill. That's what he's doing over there. I'm not sure what they were doing over there by the purple buff when there seemed to be like some grouping happening on the right side of it.
Push the tower, Jingwei, please.
No, we never push towers. We might go for an Oni Fury though.
By yourself? That's hilarious. Devs isn't stacked, don't even bother.
Are you doing it? You're not doing it.
Oh, you're not doing that.
I thought maybe he was gonna try it.
Maybe steal it, or that's just Oracles are doing, but this is weird.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure like what these two teams are trying to do right now. I don't know why they sent the Sobek to do Oracles by himself. I don't know if you've played a lot of Sobek, but trying to clear these jungle camps as Sobek by yourself, it really sucks.
Oh yeah, it takes you approximately 5 minutes per Oracle. So you're awfully, you know, you finish early game by the time you're done, so.
Yeah, you do finish that. You at least got out of the first segment of the game. Now you might still be level 1,
But remember, you got the Oracles.
you got that vision. Don't worry, guys. Now, with that kill onto Shadow Demon, things have evened out a little bit more for them. I mean, before they had...
Level-wise, yes.
Before, Kumba was level 8. He was 4 levels down on the Sobek. Now he's only 1 level down. Unfortunately, it seems to have actually grown in a couple other places, and holy crap! Milky's is just deleting Thor off the map.
I believe the deletion happened strictly because they got the Soul Gem proc, which makes sense.
Soul Gem is a nasty item.
And I love it.
Remember before the nerfs? I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Only being started up by iFeed here. Tornado there tries to steal it away, but I don't think it's going to get it. However, the cavalry charge sure does it. Flying in on the horse. Now the petrifying gaze comes out, does hit the Kumbhakarna. Maloney's being taken very low, but so are members of iFeed. VHS could come in and turn this around, but Thor is nowhere near this fight, and Shadow Demon pops his own ult. They're just charging through. Now Cat 4200 gets thrown back by the Sobek. He's gone into the passive, but he's immediately taken out by Vile Artist. This is just free real estate for iFeed now. What is Thor doing there?
Oh, I don't think so. You're not one-shotting, not even slightly.
What is he doing there? That is not where you needed to be, sir.
Yeah, you kind of just gave him like a... Like, yeah, they stole the Oni Fury, but all they're just gonna do is clear them and then just go back to doing... They can honestly just clear them, hurry up and take Fire Giant. Well, maybe not Fire Giant. They're gonna be up, but they're gonna take towers, I mean.
I think they can fight Fire Giant with VHS up at this point. I tell you, that would have been massive if they just left after getting the Oni Fury.
Ooh, not even
Now they're once again pushing this a little bit too far, I think. They're trying to kill this Robin. Stars being taken very low. Maloney's has found the kill. He might actually get out of this without a problem. Shadow Demon might be caught out here as Nitro and Maloney's are both on him. And Cat 4200 coming in with the root. But here comes No Father as Shadow Demon is jumping away to safety. Spirit of the Nine wins though, comes through, connects onto the Crocodile. He's gonna dash on out, and VHS is still on the chase. Here comes Thor over the wall, looking for the damage. He's looking for a stun. He does connect, and Maloney's will find himself a second kill. No Father in my life. Well, no life in your life.
I can just hear Maloney say "Long live Estonia" as he gets those.
Long live Estonia. We're going to be started up here by VHS, and this is the kind of life that they needed to show here. They're going to get themselves an objective, and frankly, I thought they were overstepping in that one, but they took a fight that they actually really needed, and it went their way, so kudos to them for recognizing that.
I just wish that tier 2 tower in mid would just go down.
No.
There's
nothing better than watching a tier 2 just sit around with like
torture.
3 health.
That's torture is what that is. That's all.
It's
Medusa better run
miserable
away.
For the team that's trying to take it, but it's the best thing in the world for the team defending it. It's like this shining beacon of hope. This poor tower, battered and beaten, worn down, is still standing, and that means VHS can still stand as well.
Yeah. This is interesting. It's definitely a lot more fighting going on than I would say any objectives happening, I would say, this game compared to last.
But he finds the puck on the starter who just dashes on out. Now No Father is taking quite a bit of damage from these tornadoes. He's still pushed rather far up here. I'm surprised they're not trying to punish this in any way. With the tornadoes to put a little bit more damage onto him. You know, I'm surprised we don't see like a Spear of the Magus on the Kukulkan. I think it's really good on him.
Even the Nuwa could benefit a little bit as well from that. It's not a bad item, but I think... Oh, there you go.
Goodness.
Speaking of
Nitro will not get to do any damage, though, as he's taken out, and Cat 4200 is falling very quickly as Mr. Daddy finds the kill. Now they're turning to Ice Stuff Extreme. He does find the stun, but they are being used, and Robin's just going to turn around after putting a little bit more damage out. They're going to take this tier 2 tower in the left lane, but you know what they haven't taken is the tier 2 tower in the middle lane. What is Starter doing? Sir, please leave. Please.
The biggest split push ever.
Evacuate immediately. Now iFeed is going to go ahead and take that tier 2 tower that we were just talking about. It's no longer on the map. I'd be surprised if they don't go for a Fire Giant here. They have so much momentum right now. It's such a huge lead. It's 9,000 in their favor. They've got several levels in their favor. And now it looks like they might get another pick here as Thor is forced up in... Oh no, I'm not. He's not going into the ult. I'm sorry. He's just gonna die.
Yeah, Tovex is like, oh,
well, that is extremely unfortunate for them, because now Ivy is going to keep on going. Shadow Demon looking for more. No Father looking for more, but finds himself knocked up. Tornadoes do come down. No Father could be falling to these tornadoes very quickly, but it's going to be Starter who finds that kill now. Cat 4200 still charging in, but going to be stunned out by the Nuwa. Chunks of damage coming down on him. Shadow Demon still going in the back as Milky's gets the kill on Kumakana. Nitro taken very low, and he is finished off by the Ravana. Now it is only Maloney's on his own, trying to defend this middle lane Phoenix as Shadow Demon runs down Starter on the right lane, and he's rending through. Can he find the kill? He cannot! Starter lives with just a sliver of health, but the mid lane Phoenix cannot claim the same. And they're going to rotate over to the left lane Phoenix. Maloney's going to step up, try to defend it here, but minions are surging into the Titan room. They're just base minions. They're not too dangerous just yet. And iFeed is going to have to back off here. Shadow Demon jumps through to safety. That's going to be the end of that one. Wow, that was riveting.
It really was. A lot of things just kind of happening, like almost sometimes too much to keep up.
I mean, VHS is showing signs of life, right? They're showing that they're not giving up, right? They're still trying. They're trying to contest everything they can. The problem is they're trying to contest things they really can't contest. Like the speed buff there, no reason to fight over that. iStuff went way too deep on that. Got himself in the middle of like 4 people, and what are you gonna do in the middle of 4 people when one of them is a Sobek and the other is a new one?
Yeah. Well, that's just asking for death.
This is a huge call. This is huge from VHS. iFeed's gone for the Fury, and VHS is going for the Fire Giant. They do secure it. This is massive for them. Can they find Shadow Demon, or will he find his way out? He looks like he is gonna retreat, and they're not gonna push it. They're not gonna push that one. I'm surprised they're not looking for the kill onto Shadow there after they just got Fire Giant. However, it does make sense. They got Fires pushing down.
Despite getting Fire Giant, obviously that was definitely a step in the right direction for VHS for sure. They're still significantly down, especially when it comes to like jungle and mid lane. All the other roles are starting to even out, but I feel like they have way more items online compared to VHS. So little things like that, like yes, you have the Fire Giant buff and power, but as a result of that, you're going to be down anyway simply because of item diff. So
yeah, that is true. I guess my main point of confusion there is they were willing to fight over speed buff with 4 people, but not kill Shadow with 1. Now, hang on. As iFeed is surging in, they don't care about measly Fire Giant. VHS taken very low here. Milky's is the first one to find the kill onto Nitro. He's taken out of the fight almost instantaneously. They're ignoring the tier 2 tower. It does finally go down, but Vile Artist is going to take Maloney's out of this as well as they continue searching forward. Thor drops the wall, trying to zone iFeed off, but they're just going to keep on going onto this Phoenix. Cat 4200 can't say anything about it. He just has to leave and let the Phoenix fall. They are now 2 Phoenixes down. Thor is in the air, I believe. He came down somewhere.
Wouldn't know.
Honestly, iFeed has all the momentum to end right now. Despite VHS having a Fire Giant, they're 2 people down. However, Starter comes down from the ultimate, big damage onto Vile Artist, and he is going to stop that game-ending push with just that kill.
Yeah, you take out the ADC, the game is a lot. It's, you know, you can definitely save it from that, or, you know, save your game, so good job for them for following up. But now you got to defend. You have 2 Phoenixes down, so you have those enhanced waves. So 1 more wrong fight, and it's game over, I would say.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they lost Nitro's Fire Giant, so they're not going to have the damage buff on their mage. But Starter does still have fire, so they've got half their backline with the Fire Giant. I don't think they're able to use this to really take anything on the map. This looks like a purely defensive Fire Giant right now. But it's still nice to have that on the defense, right? You've got your mid lane Phoenix coming back up very soon here. With any luck, you can defend until your right lane Phoenix comes up. But I think iFeed could just kind of push down mid or swing left and take either one of those 2 as Firemans are pushing down right. Actually, what is VHS doing right now? I don't like their positioning at all.
Yeah, they could easily just collapse onto this Thor and Kumba, and I feel like that's what they may do. Unless, I could be wrong. They're just going to siege Phoenix.
Their backs off. No, Cat 4200 is going to come in the long way, looking to catch, looks like this Ravana out. He's just going to backflip it. I don't understand this pathing.
I don't either, because they could just split the mixed waves.
Let's just use his ulti on Shadow to try to get himself back to safety. It does force the Sentinel of Zeus out of the Nike, though, as he took a lot of damage from those tornadoes coming down. And here comes Thor with the crashing thunder there. But he's just walking out. Oh, Nitro though with the big ulti on the Vile Artist Spear. The 9 wins erases him. Now Icev has found Shadow Demon and they're collapsing onto No Father. Maloney's has found himself a double kill on that one. And now Robin is caught between 4 members of VHS. Will he be able to get out? No, he will not! Starter finds that kill. Can they look for an end off this push? They just need to send one person back to defend. But look at the death timers on iFeed. If they send Nitro back to defend these fire minions, they could easily go for an end push here, but they're sending... Okay, they're not sending Thor back as well. Oh, I was a little worried there.
Thor, I think, should have been the one to go back, maybe not Nitro. Thor is going to do way more damage to this than the Kukulkan will, because Kukulkan just used his ult. Nor does he have that much cooldown, so I think Kukulkan should have been the one to go back. But, we'll see.
This could be massive. iFeed is coming up. Can they make a defensive play here? Titan is
we'll just throw him in there.
Oh my goodness, that was a great pluck coming out. Now Starter's taking very low. He can't finish it off. Milky's finds the kill. That's a double kill for Vile Artist. The Cap 4200 also goes down. The Titan stays alive, and this could just be a reverse sweep into their throne room.
Is why Kukulkan should have stayed and Thor should have went back, in my opinion. Kukulkan could have at least thrown down the tornado to help heal for his team by doing damage that way, but I think they just end at this point.
I am speechless, Skills. I am speechless.
I didn't think that would happen, I'll be honest.
They had a great opportunity there to end. They almost had it, but iFeed with a massive defense just comes back huge. Vile Artist and Milky's both coming in clutch with their damage and the ultimate, which, by the way, are back up already. Now Nitro is the only one to defend. Can he do it against the 5-man strong iFeed? They're surging into this throne room. The Titan is under attack. Nitro is placing tornadoes a little bit too far out. The Spirit of the 9 Winds does come down and connect, but there's just not enough damage. Now Cap 4200 comes in with the epic uppercut onto Vile Artist, but it's not gonna be enough. Maloney tries to kill, but iFeed finds the Titan.
Biggest reverse sweep I've seen in a while, let me tell you.
Wow. Wowie. That was huge from iFeed. Absolutely massive defense coming out. They earned that one. I mean, VHS was so close to a victory there. And it hurts to see your victories just snapped out like that, right from under your nose. But it was so well played from iFeed there. You can't be too upset. That was great from both teams.
Yeah, I mean, that was just the defense of the lifetime right there. I mean, I probably would not have pulled that off. I don't know. Like, I thought it was almost kind of funny watching the Kumba get plucked into the fountain and he just sits there.
That was
like,
massive
I was like, that's just the biggest brain thing I've ever seen. Like, why have I not even tried that?
No Father had to feel really good about himself on that pluck. I mean, you find that pluck and you know that person is gone. They are out of this one. You don't have to worry about them anymore.
He said, "Get plucked, kid." So, and he did. So good for him.
And not only did he just take someone out of that fight, he took away all their peel. Kumbhakarna had to be there to peel that 5-man off of his team so they could end. Without him there, they didn't have the safety continue dumping the damage onto the Titan, and that's what really saved them there. So, freaking massive from the Sobek. But, my friends, that is all we have for you today, as this was a rebroadcasted game. We do not have an interview tonight. For that, I apologize. But you can stay with us tomorrow, as we will have more games coming in, as well as on Monday. Thank you for joining us, and everyone have a great night.